With all the talk about Sonic right now, I really think the next best step is a fighting game. Really just talking about the comic books. Have you ever read the comic books? Their action's like manga style action. And I feel like that's starting to flow into the video games if you see the stuff that they're pushing out right now. Now, I know that a Sonic fighting game is a sensitive subject because we haven't had a good one yet. I mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoy them because I'm a Sonic fan, but if there wasn't Sonic characters in it, I probably would have never played it. And I think right now is the perfect time to do it. Now, lots of people will bring up Sonic SmackDown, but I really just don't like that play style. See, this is a personal take, but I feel that the 2D fighting genre, while fun, kind of just blends together after a while. And after being a Sonic fan for this long, I can honestly say open space is just something that's needed in a Sonic fighting game if they were to make another one. It captivates exactly what Sonic is about. And I think there's no other team better that could make a Sonic fighting game right now than CyberConnect 2, which you will probably know them from games like the Demon Slayer game and, of course, Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm. But also Sparking Zero, because I think that playstyle also should be incorporated. But one more game that I think should just have a little taste of it if they do this is kind of a KOF approach with the team-based fighting, which I think is personally really important since Sonic has kind of had this team theme going on since Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic Heroes. But this could also add to the story mode, bringing back some nostalgia, letting you complete story modes with each team. But you know what? What would the story be in this game anyway?
Infinite. Infinite was a super good villain in a very bad game, but this could be his chance of redemption. After suffering his defeat, he obviously wants revenge. He was obsessed with not being seen as weak. And also, if you'd forgot, in Sonic Forces, it doesn't really look like he died. I mean, look. Yeah, that's definitely means for a comeback. After him losing to Sonic and losing to Shadow, after he got transported or teleported to wherever he went, obviously he was just sitting there gaining back power for revenge. Now, what's the best way to get revenge where you don't want to look weak? You hold a sort of forced tournament, kidnapping everyone and transporting them to whatever this world or universe is. That way, whatever team comes out on top, if you beat them, you will obviously be the strongest. So that's what he does. With every team having their own reason for wanting to be the ones to defeat him, that's how the story goes. But let's get back to gameplay.
As I've already talked about the teams, I think the team focus is something that the game needs. But I think the team focus will be where the real fun comes from, as well as everybody having a actual story reason why they're working together. Some more obvious than others, but it would create discussion in the Sonic fan base. Now, there will be four different types of play styles. Every character would still be unique, but if you fell into a category, you would have a certain play style. Obviously, you would have speed, flight, power, and technical. I think this is important for this type of game, but what characters would fall into what categories? Being able to combine, mix and match teams of this many characters will create for many different types of Sonic interactions that fans will love to see, even going beyond the fan service. And with how many Sonic characters have distinct, unique powers, the 3v3 matches would be a beautiful thing to see. But beyond that, like I said, it isn't just fan service. It would actually give more details on characters about how they actually feel about each other. Something you only could really see in the comics, but now finally in the video game. Something that can give us more lore. But just think about how many Sonic fans really want to see how the brother and sister duo of Sage and Meadow act. Having cool cutscenes and interactions would really make the fans happy. And really, if you just look at how the games are going as far as action, this is just really perfect. And I think it really needs to happen. But let's get back more to gameplay. With the way Sonic games are currently going with a focus on action, I think this is a perfect build up to the type of flashy fighting CyberConnect 2 has, as well as CyberConnect 2 and Sega have already worked together on Demon Slayer in itself. I mean, just look at the Shadow gameplay from the new trailer. These characters are getting so many more powers. This would be a perfect way to captivate these cutscenes and cool moves into a fighting game. And as I stated, CyberConnect 2 can literally just really captivate what Sonic is, as well as Sparking Zero. These fast movements and flashy moves, something that we're already seeing in Sonic X Shadow and Sonic Frontiers. I mean, if you just look at this gameplay right here and just think about it more so on the ground instead of the air, the speed and the high power is something that we're already kind of seeing from the games. Familiar stages, destructive environments, yeah, it would be a hit. Also, this type of game, instead of just a 2D game, would also do one more thing that 2D fighting games couldn't do. They could actually have different sized enemies. Instead of us just downsizing a character like Eggman or putting him in an exosuit, we could really just bring in one of his giant machines, whether it be an actual character or a transformation. Speaking on transformations, that's also something that would be a very easy thing to implement, as that's something that's also been going on with current characters. So yeah, by now I'm already sounding like a broken record, but this game would also be one more thing. It would also be able to bring more of those comic books, which are canon by the way, into the video game world. We've already gotten Easter eggs and things like Sonic Frontiers or when they do the Sonic Twitter takeover, mentioning characters from the comic book. This, in my opinion, would probably be the best way to bring the comic book characters into the mainline series. And like I said, this would still be a game where you can mix and match teams and make your dream team all fight each other. Continuing the talk of teams, I think another thing that would be important in this type of game is team moves. With a company like CyberConnect 2 possibly making this game and all those cool, flashy team moves they have on Ultimate Ninja Storm, you can't pass up team moves on a game like this. This is something else that fans would lose their minds over, seeing these famous characters come together and do team moves. I mean, just what if they had this? I would lose my mind. But this would also give more reason why we should mix and match characters to see what super moves we could find or what interactions we could find. I think fans would have lots of fun just mixing and matching and making up teams and finding out super moves and finding out more lore and stories. It would be no way that this game would fail, and I think personally that this type of game really needs to happen. As long as every character is unique, they're true to themselves, and actually make this game a heart and not just a cash grab, I think this game could really be a big hit. Um, yeah, this is my first concept video. I didn't write a script, so hopefully you understand what I'm saying and we can get the requesting that this game be made.